Automation testing best practices for backend developers. Introduction. Automation testing is the practice of writing automated tests to verify that backend code works correctly, reliably, and safely. For backend developers, automation testing helps validate APIs, business logic, database operations, security rules, integrations, error handling, performance behavior. A common interview topic is: what are automation testing best practices for backend developers? This guide follows the same beginner-friendly structure as your uploaded reference. Simple definition. Automation testing means using test code and tools to automatically check whether an application behaves as expected. Instead of manually testing every API or feature, developers write automated tests that run repeatedly. Why automation testing matters? Automation testing helps backend teams catch bugs early, avoid regression issues, improve code quality, support CI/CD pipelines, deploy with confidence, reduce manual testing effort. Without automation testing, bugs may reach production, APIs may break silently, refactoring becomes risky, releases become slower. Main types of backend automation testing. 1. Unit testing. Tests small pieces of code. Example: cups, service methods, utility classes, validation logic, business rules. Example in Java: @test void should calculate total amount. Double total equals order service calculate total 110. Assert equals 110 total. Best for fast feedback, testing business logic, isolating bugs. 2. Integration testing. Tests how different parts work together. Examples: curls, service plus repository, API plus database, application plus external service mock. Example: Spring Boot test, class order integration test. Test void should create order successfully. Test full backend flow, API testing. Tests REST or GraphQL endpoints. Checks: key, status codes, key, response body, key, request validation, key, authentication, key, error responses. Example: play, mock MVC, perform post API orders, content type, media type, application JSON, content order JSON, and expect status is created. 4. Database testing. Tests database-related behavior. Examples: insert, update, delete, transactions, constraints, repository queries. Best tools: test containers, H2 for simple tests, real database containers for reliable tests. 5. Contract testing. Ensures APIs follow agreed contracts. Useful when front-end consumes back-end APIs, microservices communicate, multiple teams depend on the same API. Tools: double key, packed, Spring Cloud contract. 6. Performance testing. Checks backend speed and scalability. Tests: response time, throughput, load handling, database bottlenecks. Tools: Ameter, Gatling, K6. Best practices for backend automation testing. 1. Follow the test pyramid. Recommended structure: many unit tests, some integration tests, few end-to-end tests. Why? Unit tests are fast. Integration tests verify real behavior. End-to-end tests are slower and harder to maintain. 2. Write tests for business logic first. Focus on important backend logic. Calculations, permissions, validations, order processing, calculations, permissions, validations. Do not only test simple getters and setters. 3. Keep tests fast. Fast tests help developers run them often. Good practice: keep unit tests lightweight. Mock external dependencies. Avoid unnecessary full application startup. Separate slow tests from fast tests. 4. Use meaningful test names. Bad: test 1. Good: Should return bad request when email is invalid. A good test name explains scenario, action, expected result. 5. Use arrange, act, assert. Structure tests clearly. At test, void should create user successfully. /arrange. User request equals new user request test@email.com. Act user response equals user service create user request. Assert equals test@email.com response.get email. 6. Mock external services. Do not call real external systems in unit tests. Mock payment APIs, email services, third-party APIs, cloud services. Example tools. 1. Mockito. 2. WireMock. 3. Mock server. 7. Use real database testing when needed. 4. Repository and SQL logic. Test with a real database when possible. Best option. Check. Test containers with PostgreSQL, MySQL, or Oracle compatible setup. This avoids issues where H2 behaves differently from production databases. 8. Test error scenarios. Do not only test happy paths. Also test invalid input, missing fields, unauthorized access, database failure, duplicate records, external API timeout. Example. At test void should throw exception when user not found. Assert throws user not found exception.class, user service.get user by ID 999L. Keep test data clean. Avoid messy test data. Good practices. Use builders. Use factory methods. Clean database after tests. Avoid hard-coded random data everywhere. Example. User equals user test data, valid user. 10. Run tests in CI/CD. Automation tests should run automatically during pull requests, builds, deployments, release pipelines. Common tools. Jenkins, GitHub Actions, GitLab CI, Azure DevOps. Backend testing tools, category tools, unit testing, JUnit Mockito. API testing, Mock MVC, Rest Assured. Integration testing, Spring Boot Test. Database testing, Test Containers. Contract testing, Pact, Spring Cloud Contract. Performance testing, JMeter, Gatling, K6. Mock APIs, WireMock, Mock Server. CI/CD, Jenkins, GitHub Actions. Mistakes 1. Testing only happy paths. This misses real production issues. 2. Too much mocking. Over-mocking can make tests pass even when real integration fails. 3. Ignoring database behavior. SQL queries, indexes, and transactions should be tested properly. 4. Slow test suites. If tests are too slow, developers stop running them. 5. No tests in CI/CD. Tests are less useful if they only run locally. Real-world example. Example. Order API. Backend flow. Client sends order request. Controller validates request. Service applies business logic. Repository saves order. Response returned to client. Tests needed. Unit test for order calculation. API test for create order endpoint. Integration test with database. Error test for invalid request. Security test for unauthorized user. Interview answer. Automation testing best practices for backend developers include writing fast unit tests for business logic, integration tests for database and service behavior, API tests for endpoints, and contract tests for microservices. I follow the test pyramid, mock external dependencies, test both success and failure scenarios, keep test data clean, and run tests automatically in CI/CD pipelines. Final summary. Automation testing helps backend developers build reliable and maintainable systems. Key best practices. Write unit tests for business logic. Test APIs and database behavior. Mock external services. Test error scenarios. Keep tests fast and readable. Use test containers for real database testing. Run tests in CI/CD. Follow the test pyramid. Key idea. Good backend automation testing gives confidence that APIs, services, databases, and integrations work correctly before production.